recently received 5,000 feeder cattle for finishing. The cattle that we are running out there on pastures, the part of the data you collected, those are they're being park grounded for the purposes of finishing. When they attain a certain size, we shall send them to the feedlot for finishing, and that's what happens here. So in this case, this feedlot received 5,000 head of feeder cattle here, average body weight 80-90 pounds at the point of receiving them. The finishing weight or the target weight is 1130 pounds of body weight. That means they will be there shortly and they will be ready for slaughter. Daily dry matter intake is about 2.8% of animal body weight, which is this dry matter of that feed is 88%, right? Average daily gain without use of feed additives 3 pounds. Average daily gain with use of additive is 3.3 or 10% better. Now, calculate the average daily feed intake per animal as fed basis. Wow, that's a good one. So the first thing you need to do here, and I did a similar calculation in the previous that PowerPoint presentation that has hormonal regulation. Remember that PowerPoint presentation we did previous to this one? There's a calculation there talking about the value of feed additives. This is very similar here, what you see. So let me use my pen here. So here, the first thing you need to do is the average daily feed intake. You have to know what weight of body weight are you using here. All right? So you take 80-90 plus 1130 divided by 2. Take an average of those two weights. The reason for that, when these animals are younger, they eat less feed. When they're more mature, they eat more feed. So let me get my calculator here. 80-90 plus 1130 divided by 2. I see 10-10. Everyone has the same here? Is it 10?
Yes.
10. That's the weight you're going to use to calculate the average daily dry matter intake, average body weight of these animals. So times 0.028. Everyone see where that comes from? That's coming from the 2.8. This number here divided by 100 is 0.028. So times 0.028, I see 28.28. .28 pounds. When you see a calculation like this in the exam, you have to show what I'm showing here for complete points. So this one here divided by the dry matter content of that feed, because this 28.28 is dry matter. And you want to change this to as fed divided by 0.88. These animals are consuming as fed 32.1 pounds per day. This is per animal. Any question on how to do that? We have done it. Anyone with a question still? If you have another question on this one, go back to those PowerPoint slides where we did it again. The answers were provided in blue there. Very same calculation here. So any questions about part one? Okay. Part two, calculate the number of finishing days saved with the use of feed additive. Again, we come here, 1130 pounds is the target. My pen is kind of getting stuck a little bit. Minus 8090. This one is 1130 minus 890. 240 pounds that they have to be added onto these animals. I can't get this pen to go for some reason here. 240 pounds. Now, this is the amount of weight that has to be added on here. So, for the animals that are not given a feed additive, if you divide this by 3 pounds a day, I see those animals need 80 days. They need 80 days here. And for the ones that are 240 here, same amount of gain, amount of weight you have to put on them. Divide by, they're gaining faster here. You see this group here? Divide by 3.3. Zero here. I think I have 240 divided by 3.3 is 72 days, 73 days, 73 days. So 80 compared to, so when you use the feed additive, the animals will leave the farm almost a week earlier. They will be finished ahead of time. That's the value of some of these products when we include them in animal feeds, or why the US animal agriculture has been using these kind of products for a long time. Look at that particular efficiency you see there. You know, they only be there sooner, finish, and you manage in your pocket almost, taking care of any liabilities. Every time you have animals on the farm, any day, anything can happen. So this one farm A, they sent theirs last week. Some farm B, they're still on the farm because the target weight is the same, but how they're getting there is different. Any question about number part 2? Okay. I'm going to delete that so I can move this along. I'm going to clear all drawings so I can move down. The final one is calculate the percentage increase in feed efficiency as a result of using the feed additive. We saw that the feed intake was 28.28, right? This is one example where I didn't vary the feed intake change was not so significant, so I didn't even factor it in this one here. So this is what the animals are eating to gain 3 pounds. Same amount of feed, I did not qualify it. convert 3.3. So there are two ways of doing this. The better one that I like to use a lot, which is easy for everyone to see, is you divide 28.28 divided by 3, and this equals to what you have here, 28.28 divided by 3, 9.42. I say 9.4 pounds on dry matter basis to 1 pound of gain. In the one with the feed additive, they would of course consume less feed. 8. Convert 1 pound because they are gaining faster. The answer here is 28.28 divided by 3.3, and I have 8.6 here. To 1. What this means is the animals that were provided a feed additive were requiring less feed for every 1 pound of gain that they accumulated. And the primary response here, the reason explanation, is because they are gaining faster. Look at this. That's a lot of gain here compared to that. They are put good. Both of them are very good, but 3.3, of course, are a lot more superior here. So that's how you explain that to anyone. Most people at least farmers, this is easier language for them to see. You can also use the whatever. If you want to look at it from as fed part of it, then you divide this by 0.88 divided by 3. So this number does not change, neither does this one, right? But it's the way you are expressing it. But because you're talking about the dry matter here, when you're looking at scientific publications, then I like to use dry matter, because it's a much more acceptable way of comparing things. Any questions about the feed efficiency? The percentage increase then will be, can I do here? 9.4 to 1 pound minus 8.6 to 1 pound. Then the answer here, divided by 9.4, because that's the kind of the control. That's the animals not receiving the additive, times 100, change that to a percentage. The answer here then would be 9.4 minus 8.6 divided by 9.4. I see 8.5% increase in efficiency. That is the answer right there. But in the exam, when you do this, I don't expect you to show me just the answer here. You have to show me how you got there. That's the value of this calculation. That's the value of your knowledge and mastery of this part. Don't just think about shortening things. Go through the whole. Assume you're explaining this to someone. That's it's almost like an assessment type question, so to speak. Any more questions on how to deal with this part? Let me see your answers. I'll post the recording for a minute. Look at your questions. All right. It could be possible. Maybe my calculation wasn't correct. That's fine. So you can always use the method is the same. Again, this is one case where I don't even take away points from you. If you miss one number or whatever, I see what you did, but maybe you plugged it incorrectly. It doesn't matter. But the process is important here. So 9.1 Yours. All right. All right. Oh, that's all right. No, you see how this is supposed to be done. Maybe my calculation was not correct. 28.28 divided by 9 point.
I think it's just because we didn't round our numbers.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea how that got, but that's fine. We got it. Any more question on here? We have more questions to handle here. If anyone has a question? You expect to see a question like this in your final exam because it's a good learning out. You know, we had about 5 or 6 key calculations in this course. If you remember those calculations, starting from TDN, we came down to Pearson square method. We came down to use of this. There are others I'm forgetting in there. There are about 5 key calculations we have done through this course, both lab and in lecture. So for me, once you are equipped and able to develop your thinking or your what do you call that? If you can explain someone using numbers, I was attempting to show you how to do that through this course. And the nutrition is numbers. Let no one tell you anything else. There's no guesswork. This is the time when you need to know these things. Going further, if you do a master's and things like going forward, the discussion is totally different from what we have been having here. It's more towards the metabolism, how things are being utilized, and so forth. So don't be taken aback that we did so many math and whatever. No, you need that. That's how this course is done. Any questions about this part? I need to delete it and move to the next one. Okay, clear everyone?